Hello, dear students of class 12 and my dear viewers. I'm now going to the second part of Shakespeare's sonnet, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day? That is sonnet number 18. As I told you, let us come to the octave portion first. Let us come to the octave portion first. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Please note the note of interrogation here. Note of interrogation. We use note of interrogation for negation. Say, if we say, is he your friend? That means itself I am saying that he is perhaps not your friend. So, here too, with this strong interrogation, the poet William Shakespeare is highlighting one another thing, that is, I shall not compare thee to a summer's day. Now, let us come to this point, summer's day. This is not as like as we get in our climatic zone or climatic area. So, if you please think about a winter season, because William Shakespeare, he was called the Bard of Avon. The Bard of Avon, because he was born in Stratford on Avon. And look at the spelling of this word, B-A-R-D. It is not B-I-R-D. It is not B-I-R-D, it is B-A-R-D. B-A-R-D means a poet, a lyrical poet. So, summer's day, as he used to be in a cold climatic zone, that's why in that zone, a summer day is a very pleasant day. It's a very nice day. And when the sun shines, they can get rid of the biting cold of the winter. So, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. That is the positive aspect of his friend and friendship. Temperate, this particular word temperate means durable. That is, this particular word temperate itself is saying that the summer's day is not, all along durable. So, this itself again reflecting what are the shortcomings in a summer day that a person experiences who remains in a cold climatic region. So, and here he used the comparatives. Look at the comparatives. More lively and more temperate. That is, summer day is lively sometime, is temperate sometime, but this is not all along temperate. So, here again, I must tell you some old English word usage that you are not acquainted with perhaps. Thou means you. That is, thou art. Who is you? I told you about Mr. W.H. That is William Herbert, the Earl of Southampton or Earl of Pembroke, who is identified here as thou or you. Thou art more lovely and more temperate, because rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. May is the flowering month in England. It is the flowering month for the blooming of the flowers like hawthorn and rose. So, The darling birds of May, the dear birds of May, birds, kuri, the birds of the flowers. But these are all beautiful. And again, these beautiful flower buds are destroyed by rough wind. As I told you about the black hand of time, that black hand of time in the form of rough winds coming over the summer day to destroy its most beautiful creation, that is the buds of May, the nice, beautiful blooming of the flowers. And summer's lease hath all too short a date. Summer's lease hath all too short a date. Summer's lease, that is the expansion of summertime. The expansion of summertime, the time or days or months duration through which summer dwell in the region. And rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Hath. Again, another old English term, this means has. That is, summer's lease, the span of summer, has all too short a date. That is, they cannot experience summer throughout the year. Though we know it very well that if there remains the dwelling of only one season, we people cannot tolerate this. So change, variability is life. So if it becomes static, then it is comparable to death. So, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Look at the thing, too short, that is very short time. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. The eye of heaven, that is, you can say heaven. By heaven we indicate something above our head, and this eye of heaven means sun. So eye of heaven we can see with our eyes, and as and when there is daylight, we can see what is there all around us on this in our surrounding. So, and summer's lease have all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. Sometime this we can experience here in summertime. It becomes too hot. The sunshine becomes too hot. We use umbrella. We need some shade, and we even while walking through the road, we seek for a shade of a tree or some other things. So this extremity. This indicates the extremity in nature that is causing the destruction. Extremity in nature. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. Often, sometimes, it's golden complexion. Golden color, complexion means color. Sometimes its golden color gets dimmed. As you know, sometimes the mist comes, cloud comes. In the rainy season, we see if it rains for continuously for 2 or 3 days, we seek for when the sun will come. So this is not a pleasant aspect of nature. The earlier one, when it shines too hot, that too is not a pleasant aspect of nature. And every fair from fair sometime declines. So, every fair from fair sometime declines. So, there are so many fair things, so many things, exalted things in our nature, superb things in our nature. but all of them are subject to death and destruction. That's why he says declines. Declines means it's coming down. Declines. It comes down. So, if you read another poem, that is Nature of Longfellow, then there too you can see that the poet is saying that Mother Nature is as we grow up. He compares the life of man like that of a child, and as we grow up, our Mother Nature snatches one by one all our playthings, that is our beauty, our strength. Our skins get loosened, our hairs turn grey, and these all are the reminders. Nature is reminding us that your playtime on this planet is going to be over. So be ready. Be ready for that ultimate date and time when the supreme truth of all truths, that is death, will come. Death of the flesh and blood is unavoidable, and this is the greatest tragedy of human life, that we forget that sometimes we have to die, and vainly we conflict with other people, vainly we quarrel with other people. If we remember at that time that a day or time will come, and we don't know when that time will come. What's that time waiting for me? When I'll breathe my last, and this body for which I took every care day and night, I used so many costly cosmetics and all, but this body of flesh and blood will turn into a handful of ash and nothing else. So, this, and every fear from fear sometimes declines. Whatever the fear, whatever the beautiful things we are seeing, that it all are subject to destruction. And that's why he repeated this word fear and fear. Every fear from fear sometimes declines. How? By chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. I showed you in part 1 about John Donne's poem, Death Be Not Proud. There too, John Donne used the terms that this death takes over us. This death comes and overpowers us by means of some chance or accident, or the nature's course. Nature's course means naturally from childhood, from infancy to childhood, childhood to adulthood, then the old age comes. This is the natural changing. So sometimes when a beautiful thing is made, due to its changing course, the nature will turn it towards the way of death and destruction. So again, look into the total sonnet, that here, as I told you, that he began the sestet portion with the thing conjunction but. That is a linking factor in between the octave and sestet, and at the same time, what he is going to say here is in contrast with that of the octave portion. So, and at the same time, you look at the things, temperate, these things were used, temperate, summer's lease at all, too short a date, I highlighted this particular portion, too short a date, but here he began with eternal. But thy eternal summer, thy means your, eternal, that is infinite or timeless. journey to eternity begins here. What's eternity? The eternity of the beauty of his friend and friendship. But thy eternal summer shall not fade. Look the contrast. It was this dimmed. This was the too hot. But here it is shall not fade. So if we can tell the two portion octave and sestet in two way. That is, octave is pessimistic, but this sestet part is optimistic. That is, we have every hope here. The poet has got every hope here, but there is no hope. But he did not begin with any harsh pessimism, rather a gentle pessimism, because he had in his mind the optimism ready in his mind. So, but thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. That is, we possess so many things that we want to say that all these things are ours. We say that this is my school. We say that this is my house, this is my car, this is my dress. The egoism. This egoism can only be vanished through the two words I am mentioning from Bhagavad Gita, that is Atmanan Vidhi. Know thyself. Know thyself. Who are you? That's the great question. Who am I? That's the great question. Is it a name only? The name only is given by your parents or by some elders when you were born. But who are you? Who am I? We don't know. And there lies the quest. There lies the quest to know. That is the quest of the ascetics, the sannyasis. They meditate for time immemorial to know that ultimate truth. What is that ultimate truth? And often they share it with us. They share the knowledge with us. Nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. That is, owest. To bring in the semblance or similarity in rhyme pattern, he used owest and growest. That is, you owest, you possess. That you have. We have so many things in our possession, and we are much possessive about our beauty, about our strength, about our power, and that's why so many times you stand in front of your the mirror in your house and you go for selfie and so many things. Why? Because you are liking your beauty, and you want your friends, your relatives to like your beauty, and that's why perhaps there is the option of like and dislike and so many things, comments and all. So, not lose possession of that fair thou owest. In contrast, look at the contrast, that here all things are temporary, but here all are eternal. And nor lose possession. You will not lose what we have, that is the beauty of friend and friendship that his friend Mr. W.H. has got. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shed. Brag. This is another word. Brag. That is proud. Or be proud. So, death is here described as the wanderer. Wanderer. That is, who travels from one place to another. And this traveling continues. And death, nor shall death brag thou wanderest. Thou, you already know, you wanderest. You are the wanderer. Death is the wanderer. He travels from here and there, and as you know about the feeling of Yamraj, he or his agents go here and there, and with the calculation in the notebook of Chitragupta, and from that the time comes. We don't know about that time when that agent of Yamraj will come to me and take me away. I don't know whether heaven or hell. But our poet Shakespeare is not ready to accept that, and that's why he throws a challenge to death. And death, here look at the thing. D is capital, that is, death is personified here. So death will not be proud by holding you, by taking you and the friendship in his shade. Death has not got that power. I told you earlier part also that we are, that is the sensitive minds, the poets and writers, they fight to immortalize. They fight to immortalize their verse. And with that verse, or through that verse, they try to remain among us. And that's why even after more than 4 centuries, we are reading this beautiful sonnet of William Shakespeare, and we are obviously reminding him and his friend and the beauty of his friendship. When in eternal lines to time thou growest, that is unavoidable. That is the growing. When anything is born or created, in the sequence of time, in the wheel of time, it will go on revolving like this. We cannot keep hold on it. We cannot stop it. It will go on. So, he knows it very well. He accepts that his friend, as a man of flesh and blood, he will die. And that's why, when in eternal lines to time thou growest, that eternal lines to time, again he has used the word eternal. Eternal lines to time, that's the line. You have to follow that line. You cannot be indisciplined in that line. You will not be allowed to be indisciplined in that line. So, how then he can be saved from the hands, the cruel hands of time, the black hands of time or death? So, heroic couplet is here very important. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, all the things in our body, that is, we breathe. So long we breathe, we are living. We consider it as living. So long we have eyes, we can see. So long lives this, and this gives life to the. Look at the thing, repetition of the word this. This. He repeated this word, this. What is this? So long lives this. That is this beautiful sonnet. This beautiful sonnet. So long lives this. And this gives life to thee. This sonnet, this beautiful creation will give life to thee, that is, to you. To you. Here, obviously, he is not telling thee as someone of flesh and blood only. He is telling the friendship, telling about friendship, that is, from mortality to immortality. This poem can again be called a journey from mortality to immortality, from finite to infinite. Look, all these things are finite things. That is the limitation. We have the limitation. We cannot regulate the summer's day. We cannot regulate keep intact the beauty of the darling buds of May, or the beauty of the flower, or so many other beautiful things. And we have to accept the natural changes. But even amidst this natural change, we can have our friend and friendship living forever in our mind. It will go on in our mind. And this particular sonnet will perhaps go on resonancing in our mind also. And we also may think about our friend and friendship. It may be that we may die, but our works, our good works, will be carried by that greater time. So, and that again you can see in Rabindranath Tagore's that great poem Shunatuli. There also who is that boatman? Boatman is the regulator of time, the Mahakal. And what's the river? River is the flowing time. We cannot regulate. We can only we can only offer our works. So, thus, it shall be our motto to do some good for mankind, so that even after death, we may be remembered. We may remain alive, not in the body of flesh and blood, but in the mind of the people of our surrounding, our country, our state, and obviously in the universe. So, I think you have understood the poem. Now, after reading the poem time and again at home, you go for writing a brief summary, what you have understood, and when the lockdown will be over, we can again discuss if there is any shortcoming, and obviously you can comment us, you can send us questions through WhatsApp that will be intimated to you in due time through SMS. But before that, I must appeal you one thing, that while we take your class, your faces, your smiling faces, your satisfactory faces are our satisfaction. But here, we cannot see you. We cannot see how you are reacting about our classes. So, the only way to react is to log in to YouTube with your email address and subscribe the channel and like and dislike. Both the options are there, and obviously there is the comment section also. You can mention how you felt, and that will be our inspiration for the next classes to make it more and more good. All of you stay home, stay safe. Thank you.